So we have our next interview. I told you we have it jam-packed today. Here we go. Please tell everybody who you are and what you do, please.
Yo, this is Kilo Mo. M to the O.E. The grid's what it is.
What's up? What's up? So tell me, what brings you to Dream Chasers Radio today?
Well, I'm on my current promo run, wrapping up from last quarter, and so and I just got back from performing in Topeka, Kansas. So I'm just really still promoting this project I'm doing right now, which is Rambo, and I'm just moving around, making the runs, and definitely had to stop and see you. Got a recommendation, so I came over this way.
Oh, you know what? I appreciate it. So tell me about yourself.
I'm actually, I go two ways with this. I'm I go so many ways with this, but I'm really, I'm a record label owner, O.M.G Entertainment, Incorporated, and which I started this from just purely putting music online, and I started it with that intention of just at the time in 2012 when I kind of saw ahead of time that music was going to go into streaming, so I thought I wanted to get a piece of it. So as a rapper, myself, Kilo Mo, I've been around, 20 plus years just rapping and performing and being an entertainer. I was a bodybuilder before I started this company in 2012. So like the stage and being a performer just wasn't new to me. I've been rapping all my life. I've been rapping since I was real little, like 5, 6 years old. So it was a natural progress for me. And just being in, being into the entertainment business, I wanted to learn how to exploit my music and learn how to make money from it. So, here I am, and that's who I am, basically, in so many ways. I got my name Kilo from a little bitty funky town out in the Midwest named Topeka. My father was in the military, so I ended up out there, and those are some of my formative years, like middle school, high school, whatever. So I got out there, and, just like when I was a 90s kid, and when you were in trouble in the 90s, when you were growing up in the 90s, you got in trouble. You got into things, and that's how I got the name Kilo Mo, is out there, and I had an infamous time out there. And boom, so fast forward to now, it's like I got into some trouble. I got out of prison, and I got into bodybuilding, personal training. I built a really successful company that way, and I got an injury, and before you know it, boom, here we are. I got a record label.
Wow, and wow. So, Kilo, all right, so, there are so many awesome stories about people out there that are doing wonderful things like yourself who have grown in their business. When you think about your life when you began, and then now your life now, what is the major difference between then and now? And if you know then what you know now, what would that be?
That's a great question. Cause it's funny, I don't think about it much, not by like design or anything. It's just I'm so busy, so focused, and so we call it got the blinders on, and that's what was missing from them. Is I've had skills. I played ball in school. I was a very reputable high school basketball and football player and track. I lifted weights. I was reputable there. I think the difference between all the way then and now is focus. Focus is the key word. I think I didn't have the focus. I was easily distracted. I get into things, look around and say, "Ooh, look, he has that. I want to get it too." You know what? And I can do it better. And the next thing you know, I'm distracted. Right. I'm distracted. So I didn't know how to channel my competitive spirit. A lot of us are very competitive, especially on the hood. We're real competitive, and we're competitive at some of the most pettiest things. And if I think we can channel that focus into something more positive direction, I think we'll get, exactly where I'm going in this point in time. And so, yeah, that's the difference. It's definitely focus.
So being that now that you have that focus and you have that record label, tell me something about a record label executive, because let me tell you something. You know how hard it is as an artist to get out there, but now being an artist and having a record label, tell me about that.
Man, you really know what you're doing. Good questions. Good questions. I've done a lot of interviews, and sometimes, I got to coach them. That's kidding, but no.
I'm good.
Yeah, got to coach him. No, that's a good, really, right, it was a solid question, is because people don't understand what the definition of make it is, quote unquote. And the difference between myself and, let's just say, the artist that's hard to really get something going, I understand the economy of music. I understand the economy of entertainment. It was the same way with bodybuilding. People used to be like, man, bodybuilding is hard. How are you making money this way? It costs a lot of money, but see, I understand the economy of fitness. And, when you hear these numbers on the news and you hear these numbers in magazines, they're like, music is a $50 billion enterprise, a $50 billion entity. But I go around and I see all these people, and they all complain about how broke they are. So I'm like, man, well, where's the money? Where's the 50 billion? Where's the 100 billion? So I focus on where that money is being generated. And so as a record label executive, I try to concentrate my efforts on monetizing the entertainment experience, the product. And that's, I think, what a lot of people forget about, again, is the product, the economy. Just like the last guy that was on here, he has his product in order. And the reason why I said that is because he's here, and he's here for a reason. And see, there's a whole lot of other musicians. They're not here. They're not here speaking to you. See, so that's why it's hard for them. You know what I mean? Because there's people that listen to you, and there's people that listen to you, they buy music. And so I'm here to pitch the music. Hey, I'm Kilo Mo, everybody, check me out. And I'm the CEO of O.M.G Entertainment, and I think y'all should check out my music. Make sure you Google Kilo Mo, and that's M.O.E. You see how that works? And so that's the economy of music, because I just let everybody know who I am and where you can find my product. And that's the part of it. It's not necessarily everything's hard, especially when you're putting your best foot forward. However, though, it's not as complex as everybody seems to make it to be. And so as a record label executive, as an artist, as I don't care, as a McDonald's floor worker, I don't care what you are, you have to understand the economy of everything that you're involved in, where money is exchanging hands, and find out where you fit in that, So that's how I look at it. I hope I didn't go too hard on that.
No, you did. Man, I tell you, okay, I'm in the music industry, been in the music industry all my life. Mom is, from the McFerrin family, Bobby McFerrin.
Yeah,
my
beautiful.
mom's cousin, Donna Summer, my mom, Evelyn Thomas. So I've been in the music industry for a long time, and the one thing I've noticed is there are so many people complaining about not making it. Do you realize? I don't think they realize the percentile of the person that makes it and how many artists there really are that's in the industry. I don't think they get it.
You have to define making it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not making it. When you're a true artist, it's more like, hey, how can I affect my path and keep my life on track, being focused, like you said, and also just being happy and doing music. If you make it, great. If you don't, great. But I mean, not to complain about, they don't have this anymore. I mean, how many times have you heard that now since the music industry has changed?
I hear it every day, and I hear it all the time, and especially with the complaints about the streaming rate. And I get that. I mean, they don't pay a lot, per stream, but, you have to figure the economy out. And so, okay, guys, here goes a little bit of advice. If you're complaining about the streaming rate, put out more music. Well, if you're complaining about it's expensive to put out music, figure out how to put it out, cut the cost, figure out how to record yourself, figure out how to mix yourself. Figure these things out. Figure the economy out and create economy around it. There's always economy for everything. There's always a person. This is America, man. 300 million, billion people. You know what I mean? You get 100 of them to give you $1, you got $100. I just come from a sales background. You got to do the numbers. And I think, that whole nothing's happening for me comes from this whole nobody's doing nothing for me. And then that goes into the whole, I need somebody to do something for me. But, sis, bro, you're always going to be without anything if you're waiting for somebody to do something for you. And that's
definitely.
That's kind of where we are. It don't matter if you're in $1 million situation or if you're in $100 situation. If you don't get out here and make it work for you, it's not going to work for you. And somebody's going to eat off of you, and only them. Only them. They're the only ones that's going to eat.
Hey, I hear that. Now, there is this question that I did get from one of my listeners, and they asked me, they said, can I ask you, Is it possible, and I already know the answer to this question, but I want you to answer it because you're the radio exec and I'm just an artist. But is it possible nowadays to get that advance from the record label to go ahead and go out and be an artist?
Even more so now. That's also a buyer beware, I mean, like I say this to guys all the time. I give them options, and I'm like, well, if you want an advance, then what you going to give me? You understand what I'm saying? That's how that's going to work. What are you willing to part with? I mean, I'm willing to cut you a check, but what are you willing to part with? Is it worth it to you? I always ask them that, because I find that over here on O.M.G Entertainment, that's our thing. We are family over here. So I'm not here to just exploit artists. I'm here to exploit their catalog so we can all create economy for it. And we can all, do whatever we've been trying to dream to do. And so, yeah, that advance is there. If we look at it, let's look at some of the newer guys, your little Punks and your little, I don't know, just put that LIL name, little Zan, little Yachty. But they're getting huge advances. And they're getting huge advances. Listen to me, guys. They're getting huge advances. We're talking 20 million, 30 million, 40 million because, a million streams is worth about $6,000. You know what I mean? So let's just say you got 100 records. Do your math, Reed. You do 100 records at $5,000 a stream, at $5,000 per million streams. There's your math right there. So they'll be willing to give you $20 million up front because they own the song. If you're doing 100 songs at $5,000 a song, per million streams, sure take $20 million. I'm gonna get my $20 million back in 24 months, and I'll make another $20 million from that. And another, of course, the advance is there. Again, you have to create the economy around, and that's where I keep saying that word economy because. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's where they falter. Yeah. They think that it's not like the old days where they gave the record labels came out to the clubs. Like when my mom got discovered, they came out to the club, and you know who was playing there? Earth, Wind and Fire, Evelyn Thomas, and Michael Brown. And then there was Martha Walsh and the Weather Girls were all in one club. They picked all of them up from the club. They don't do that anymore.
Let's say that was 20.
You got to have that economy. That's what I'm saying. You got to have that economy. It doesn't happen like it used to.
No, let's say that was 40 years ago, maybe. 40, 2018. Hey, it's old heads. We can't calculate that time. Everything was 20 years ago. I'm saying, but let's say 40 years ago. 40 years ago, everyone couldn't make music. And let's top that off. 40 years ago, everyone wasn't a skilled musician. Nowadays, everyone, quote unquote, is a skilled musician. With that being said, you can, grandma can give you $500 for your birthday, and you can get you a pretty nice setup and record a record and have a record produced and ready to put out with the press of a button through an iPad. Now you can take that record and put it on the internet. Rather it's put together right or rather it's registered right. That's a whole different ballgame. But now let's take that. You got some 100,000. You can tell I'm executive. I like numbers. It's some 120-something thousand new records that go out every month. Do you know that? Not every year, but every month. 120-something thousand new records. I own distribution as well. I own a distribution company. I'm the greatest publisher. And some 120-something thousand records go out every month. That's the economy of it. So with that being said, record label is like, man, I don't have to give you an advance. I need to see what you can do with this record before I give you an advance. Versus back in that time, 40 years ago, I need somebody to give an advance to. We need to make some money. You see the difference? So, that's where, now, when it's cherry picked, we can look for the music and pick and choose who we want to give money to. 40 years ago, some people could make music, not everybody, so now we need somebody. And actually, artists had a little more power. They just got tricked a lot, but artists had a little more power. Like, no, that's a small event. It's a little light advance, homie. I need 50,000, not 20. So that's the difference.
Wow. But you know what? Everybody has that power in their hands now to do what they purpose to do in life. And people just want to see if they go through with their word. A lot of people talk a big game, but they don't really go through with it. And it's like, okay, well, all right.
That's my biggest problem. No, you're right. That's my biggest problem. And I think a lot of the internet has created a whole universe of, and I say universe because it is existing in its own thing, this internet thing. And, you can say and do what you want, and you can be who you want on your own, and you can create all of these false standards, and no one's going to do anything about it. And on top of that, if you do anything about it, you'll have that side of the internet that'll say, hey, you can't say nothing about that because that's wrong, but even though that guy did the wrong thing, but, and so that's where that comes. It's just a game of numbers. There's so much of everything now. Like, and there was a time where, to have a flat screen was a big deal, and that was just 10 years ago. Now everybody's got 4 or 5 of them in every room. Not just 1 or 2, they have 80 of them. So, it's these numbers. It's, we got this illusion that everybody has so much anymore, and we can show it on Instagram. I don't even wear as much jewelry as I used to because of that. Like this, you can just go buy you some jewelry online. And grandma can find it. That's what's happening. And so now there's the aura of being a hip hopper, having something, having a bling or whatever you want to call it, having some things, stunting, as we used to call it, the rims and stuff. You can go rent rims now. So it's like it's not even anything to have rims on your car anymore. So, it's just kind of bleeding hip-hop itself for what it is as well,
Yeah, definitely. So tell me about your song. I mean, I went on your website, and I saw your song, Braggin'. Tell me about that. But first of all, tell me how people can reach you.
Easiest way to reach me, again, is my website, www.kilomomusic.com. Make sure you keep the E in there, kilomomusic.com. If you guys need more information on my label, that's www.O.M.G.music.com. But the link is also on my Kilo Mo Music website. Just go through there, and everything that I'm about, what I'm talking about, facts and figures, they're all on my website. You can reach me there. My song, Braggin', we recorded that last year, I believe, for my last tour. Excuse me, because I travel a lot, so it's sometimes I don't even know what day it is. I think you know about that, right? Sometimes you don't know what day, year, when you did something. So, right. Braggin' is recorded by Twan Beatmaker, and I think if you're getting around the internet and you're doing music, or if you're getting around the internet and you see music, you know about Twan Beatmaker. And if you know anything about Kilo Mo Music, Twan Beatmaker is probably my go-to guy for my music and my songs when it comes to, big radio hits or, big anthems that I like to do. That's my thing, big anthems. And so Braggin' is just, it was basically an affirmation, man. Like, I was trying to let everybody know, because I played the humble card for a really long time. And a lot of people said, man, you've done a lot. You need to come out of that, and that was why I went in on it. I am the shit. It ain't nobody out here like us, Yeah, because I kind of looked and I had to chant like, man, I'm looking around and everybody's trying, and I didn't look. I'm 6 years in, and no one's even moved an inch on what they were trying to do. And I've moved several yards. We got several touchdowns. We putting points up. I'm putting other artists up, putting numbers up. 200,000 streams this year, so there it is. That's why we bragging. And that was why in the first verse I'm saying, get into the game, get off of the bench. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Let's go. And that's, man, I'm about inspiration and motivation mostly, man. A lot of times it hits people the wrong way, but that's how I want you to do. I don't want you to be comfortable. I don't want you to be comfortable around me, because around me we work, and that's what we all do, and that's just what bragging's about. It's not about talking down. It's really about bringing you up. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, hey, man, you can do it. You can do it. Like, man, you can go back and look on because that's what I like about the internet. You can go back and look at my early. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
My bad. Yeah, that was my phone making that noise. But I could go back and look at my early works. 10 streams, 15 streams. That's why I leave all my old stuff up on purpose. I want people to see the progression. And now we're doing 200,000 streams. And I'm getting checks. We did $18,000 in music last year. That's a fact. You can go look it up on the IRS, people. Come on, man. We're not playing. And that's why I'm bragging. That's what the song's about.
That's it. I want to thank you for being on the show, Kilo, man. It's been a pleasure. And you know what? People go ahead and go to Kilo, M.O.E music.com, and you know, just see him in action. And you can do that too. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Kilo, thank you again for being on the show.
Hey, thank you for having me so much. Thank you.
All right, then. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, certainly will.
All right, and here it is, Dragon.
One beat maker, the hit maker, the hit maker, the hit maker.
Slide through in the motherfucking hoes. You look at that bitch and be like, shit. Bragging. Fuck it. Feel good about it. I am the shit. Bragging. I am the shit. 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 I brag a little. I am the shit. I am the shit. I brag a little. I am the shit. I brag a little. I am the shit. Climbing the fence. You sit on the bench. Get off of the bench. Get into the game. Get into the mix. You flicking the wrist. I'm moving that shit. No money with this. Got knowledge of self. No goofy and shit. I sip out the licks, complex as a bitch. I rep for the plug, what connects to the bricks. No sex for a month, just counting the chips. Lay low to the fifth, re-up in the bin. No sleep till it's in. Fill up in the bags, run for the pen. My gun is the pen. No love for the men that run with the pigs. You run for that shit. You sluts on the dick, the police and shit. They hate and they piss. We pissing out shit and we setting up deals. Get to the chips, whipping the whips, big as your crib. Get with the real, they fuck with me still. I am the shit, and ain't nobody out here like us. I am the shit, and ain't nobody out here like us. I am the shit, and ain't nobody out here like us. I am the shit, and ain't nobody out here. I'm with this shit, I started on that, but study the league, you run with a bat. I'm done with that shit, you hung from the sack, just one from the nuts. I'm one with my shit, run with the self, stay under my grid. You put on the shelf, not getting no hits, your hitters is bitch. They broke and they wish, they getting the chips, they coming for yours, never for mine. They shutting my lips. I set shop in your city. Get spot so hot, boy, your flip-flops be litty. It's get 'em boys when they see you. When I touch down, no secret. I run around, go evil. You weird boys can't see me. You weird boys can't see me. I am the shit, and ain't nobody out here like us. I am the shit, and ain't nobody out here like us.
I started on that, but study the league, you run with a bat. I'm done with that shit. I'm on with my shit.
With the shit, I started on that, but study the league, you run with a bat. I'm done with that shit. I'm on with my shit.
O.M.G. Entertainment. O.M.G.